Have you ever wondered how the history of the United States began? It's not just about wars, treaties, or great victories. It's a journey full of mysterious events, crucial decisions, and invasions that few know about. Let's explore the story of the indigenous tribes, the explorations, conquests, wars, and the great figures who helped shape the powerful nation we know today. A journey that not only changed a country, but also changed the world. Before the 15th century, the American continent was inhabited by indigenous tribes with a long history. These tribes were originally yellow-skinned people from Asia who crossed the Bering Strait and Alaska, then spread into North America during the last ice age around 25,000 years ago. In 1492, under the protection of Spain, explorer Christopher Columbus successfully discovered the Americas, which was also referred to as the New World. From then on, European countries began to colonize the American continent, starting with Spain. Later, Catholics persecuted in England came to North America in the 16th century. France also arrived and took control of large territories in northeastern North America, several Caribbean islands, and parts of South America. 1763. During the European War, England and France faced off over North American colonies. France lost the war and had to cede Canada to England. However, England imposed high taxes to compensate for the loss, leading to a rebellion in the colonies by 1775. On July 4, 1776, the colonies declared independence from England with a document drafted by Thomas Jefferson, and the United States of America was born in 1783. Washington led the revolutionary forces to free the nation and defeated England, with support from financial and military aid. In 1789, General George Washington was chosen as the first president. By 1800, the United States neighbors underwent major changes when Spain ceded the Louisiana Territory to France. However, shortly after, France became embroiled in conflicts with European countries. In 1803, U.S. President Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory from France, doubling the size of the United States. In 1812, the U.S. went to war again with England, and the second and final conflict was with the British. The British allied with Native American tribes to fight against the settlers in the western U.S. At one point, the British even captured and burned Washington, but the Americans eventually triumphed. The Treaty of 1818 established the border between the U.S. and Canada along the 49th parallel, later becoming the demarcation line for the U.S. and Canada. The American frontier expanded westward, and the territories of the indigenous Native Americans were permanently annexed. This led to conflicts with Spain, a former ally of the U.S. After negotiations to resolve territorial disputes, Spain, 1819, agreed to cede Florida and other territories to the U.S. in exchange for $5 million, thus ending the Spanish-American conflicts. To the south, Mexico declared independence from Spain, and both Mexico and the U.S. were nations of European settlers who had fought for independence from England and Spain. The two countries eventually clashed in a fierce war, with the winners set to control all of North America. In 1845, the U.S. annexed the Republic of Texas, leading to the Mexican-American War. The U.S. defeated Mexico and forced it to sign a peace treaty, recognizing Texas as part of the U.S. After expanding its territory and industrializing, the U.S. developed powerful transportation networks like railroads. However, a significant divide remained between the pro-slavery South and the anti-slavery North. In the 1860 election, the Republican Party, supported by industrialists and led by Abraham Lincoln, won the presidency on the platform of abolishing slavery, leading the Southern states to secede and form the Confederate States of America. This resulted in the American Civil War, lasted from 1861 to 1865. After 4 bloody years of war, the North, under Lincoln's leadership, defeated the South, and slavery was abolished. Following the war, the U.S. embarked on a reconstruction process, and in 1867, the U.S. purchased Alaska from Russia at a bargain price. The nation also began opening up to Japan and annexing Hawaii in 1898. The U.S. declared war on Spain, gaining control of the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Cuba after the Treaty of Paris. By the early 20th century, the U.S. had become an industrial superpower. 1914, World War I erupted, and the U.S. initially remained neutral. However, in 1917, the U.S. entered the war after Germany's actions prompted a shift in public opinion. After the war, the U.S. emerged victorious, and in 1945, it played a key role in founding the United Nations in San Francisco. Following World War II, the U.S. and the Soviet Union became superpower rivals, engaging in a Cold War, which included the space race and proxy wars in Korea and Vietnam. The Cold War ended with the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, and the U.S. became the world's sole superpower. The focus of international conflict shifted to the Middle East, especially after the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. In response, the U.S. declared a war on terror, leading to military operations in Afghanistan and Iraq. In 2003, the U.S. invaded Iraq, resulting in the downfall of Saddam Hussein's regime. However, the conflict continued, leading to debates about the war's legitimacy. In 2007, President George W. Bush deployed more troops to Iraq, but the situation remained unstable. In 2008, Barack Obama was elected as the first African-American president of the United States, inheriting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. The U.S. officially ended its military involvement in Iraq in 2011. In 2021, the U.S. completed its withdrawal from Afghanistan, bringing an end to a 20-year conflict. Today, the U.S. consists of 50 states and several territories, with Washington, D.C. as its capital. The U.S. flag features 50 stars representing the states and 13 stripes, symbolizing the original 13 colonies. The U.S. is a global superpower in economy, military, and culture, and it plays an important role in international organizations such as NATO and the United Nations. Despite its advances, the U.S. faces ongoing challenges such as income inequality, gun violence, and social unrest. Immigration and healthcare costs continue to be pressing issues, and the nation is working through many political and social reforms. So, we've journeyed together through a long path, from the indigenous tribes to the rise of the United States as a superpower today. If you found this story fascinating and want to explore more surprising historical milestones, don't forget to like, follow the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next exciting videos. Keep following us as we uncover more intriguing stories from the past to the present. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.